Patreon member shout out. Hear the sound of the falling rain, coming down like an Armageddon's flame. Hey, the shame, the ones who died without a name. Hear the dogs howling out of key to a hymn called Faith and Misery. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a Veve Omi update video. If you guys are new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. So, this is, this whole video, the pet Avengers is inspired by my obsession with this alligator Loki, where I was buying a couple of more commons, up to like 22 common alligator Lokis. And I started thinking, Taps Trade said in one of my videos, or maybe it was privately, I forget. It's like, hey, you should have a place in the Veveverse, like a castle, and it should be surrounded by a moat, and you should have all your alligator Lokis in there. Common, your ultra rare, your secret rare. And I was like, yeah, that'd be a really good idea. And then think, okay, well, water, what else could be in there? Well, Throg should probably be in there too. I don't really have that. I only have one set of Throg. But I might get more now because of this idea that I had. So in Loki, the first season, the second season won't get probably till 2023. But in that first season, you see Throg in there, and he's supposed to be in the first episode also. It isn't a deleted scene. It was supposed to be an animated version of Thor as Throg, and it's supposed to be a full-size Tom Hiddleston getting the crap beat out of him by this tiny frog. And this happened, they referenced it in the MCU, and I think Thor Ragnarok, where Matt Damon, who's playing Loki, in that play, says like, "Oh, sorry about the time I turned you into a frog," and then the guy who's playing Thor is like, "Oh, it was a beautiful prank. It was so funny." So they've done this before. They've referenced it before, and this just happens to be one of the times where Thor gets turned into a frog by Loki, and it happens in the comics. He eventually goes down into the sewers of New York City, and the rats are being attacked by alligators. Maybe that's where the idea they got for alligator Loki. But anyway, he becomes, Throg, Frog Ylnir. But that's not the Throg that we have in the Veve app. The one in the Veve app is Simon Walterson, created by a guy named Walter Simonson. Crazy, I know. He's like this collegiate football star. And they give you, I looked up the article, they give you a really poor description in the Veve app. And the Veve app says, he was a human turned into a frog by a witch. But the story goes much deeper than that. The story is that he was this like collegiate football star, and he gets hurt though. He's about to be drafted in the NFL, but he gets hurt. He can't play, so he finds this woman. They fall in love, and there's no we don't know how, spoilers, but his wife dies, and we don't know how. So we're trying to figure this out along with him, and he's saying, okay, well, how do I go and find out? I'm going to go to all these psychics, and people mediums that can claim that they can talk to the dead. He loses all his money until one day he actually finds somebody that can talk to the dead, and finds out that and this is like a kid's comic, by the way, finds out that his wife had died with child, and then when he can't pay her, because he had wasted all his money on the frauds, she turns him into a frog, and he happens to be black, and and he turns into like this brown frog. I don't know if that's low-key racist or anything, but turns into like this brown frog, and he actually meets the actual Thor as well. And I don't know how this happens because Mjolnir's supposed to be pretty indestructible, but when Thor picks up Mjolnir and becomes, the actual Throg, like Frog Thor, part of the hammer breaks off, and he gets it. Scott Walterson gets it, and he goes and he becomes Throg. So that's the Throg that we have. And I'm starting to think, okay, is that going to be a bigger character? Why'd they put that in? They put that in because I think the MCU, like I said, that they're going to do a Young Avengers. I think they also might do a Pet Avengers as well. And the Pet Avengers, I know I've gone on like 4.5 minutes about this before I even get to this. It stars Throg as one of the main characters. He runs into hang on a second. The dog, there it is, called Lockjaw. And Lockjaw is an Inhuman, or at least was part of the Inhumans, and he has teleportation powers, and they can. I think because Lockjaw has, I think, the Mind Stone, they can communicate telepathically. Simon Walterson, the one that we have in the Veve app, and Lockjaw, the what do you call it, the dog. So they team up, and Thanos is coming. They have to collect the rest of the Infinity Stones. So they team up with Lockheed, who is Hello. Oh, I'm sorry, not Hello Kitty. It's Kitty Pryde's assistant. It's Kitty Pryde's dragon. It's like, oh, that is so cool. They team up with Lockheed, and they go and they find Redwing as well. And Redwing is kind of mentioned in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's Falcon's little like kind of pet drone. Calls it Redwing, but in the comics it actually is just a falcon. It's just like a hawk. So I team up with that, and I don't really like Redwing that much. Redwing's kind of like a d-bag, saying like, I'm above you guys, but I will lower myself to your guys' level just to help you out. I don't really like him. Too cocky for me. Anyway, afterwards they go along, and before they find Zabu's the Sabretooth in there. That's in like a prehistoric time. They do go along and they find Hairball. Hairball is a really fast cat. And then they go and they get Miss Lion with Hairball as well. Miss Lion is a male dog. I don't know if it's just... I think it was... So Miss Lion is owned by Peter Parker's Aunt May. So Aunt May's dog, Miss Lion, I don't know if it's because she's old and she couldn't tell, what gender it was, or if it's like a cross-dressing joke. I don't know, whatever. So they go in and spoil it. I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to spoil that for you. But stuff happens, and they have to go, and they're fighting Thanos, and it's really cool. It's really amazing. It's really great. And if they are going to do that, again, they have all of this multiverse stuff, then I don't see why they wouldn't have it in the app. So I am going to go and shift a little bit. I'll still continue buying Loki's when Omi goes up next year, but I will also going to be buying a little bit more the Throgs. And I'm doing that just because, well, in the future, there's a lot of people that are going to want the pets. Pets are awesome. I clearly love pets. I love doggos. I love Dashi. And I think that's, again, I could be next year when Omi moons, and let's say they don't have Lockjaw, they don't have Lockheed, let's say they don't have anyone yet, and I start buying a bunch of Throgs, they could decide to go a completely different direction and not do them at all in the app. And, or even if they do, it could not catch on. People are like, this is stupid. Because again, they're not really characters that are really, really majorly popular. They're not in the Avengers. They're not in the MCU, really. So this is something that is a big gamble, again, which it might not pay off. But I'm just letting you guys know what I'm doing. Anyway, guys, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comment down below if you think I'm crazy or not. Everyone check out Star Helix, Wendy Stibalis, Kyle Willson, and Golden Assets on YouTube. And at Not Star Helix, at HeyDavidDon, and at EQ_crypto on the Twitter. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, 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 meow.